Hello, hello. Welcome to another Tuesday training. I am excited to be here and talk to you about time. So in these trainings, I pick them depending upon what I feel like the group needs. And at this point in time, I have had, no pun intended, I have had a lot of people joining the group or commenting on the fact that they don't have enough time. They're reaching out to me, they're feeling overwhelmed, they don't know how to fit their business. Another thing I'm seeing a lot of right now is they have a full-time job and they don't know how to fit their business in their lives around their full-time job. So they just feel like they're really struggling with time. So this is all about how you think about time, and then also a few ideas on how you can be better with your time. So all of us have the same amount of time in a day, and we are where we're at in our lives because of choices that we've made throughout our lives, and now here we are, right? So if you can understand that nobody has more time than you, and it's how you're deciding to show up, and it is a decision, by the way, then you can start to be a little bit more mindful about your time. But when you're thinking about time and you're super overwhelmed, I see overwhelm all the time throughout the group too, so overwhelmed. But if you have this feeling of overwhelm, oh, here's mine. If you have this feeling of overwhelm, we're just gonna say business right here, okay? So if you have this feeling of overwhelm, because you're telling yourself, can you see that? I don't have enough time. I don't have great handwriting, and I really don't have great handwriting when it comes to boards. So hopefully you can read that. But when you have this constant thought of, I don't have enough time, you're gonna consistently feel overwhelmed. And from overwhelm, what we know is that when you're overwhelmed, you feel scatterbrained. I'm just gonna say scattered, okay? You also, usually it's inaction, meaning that you're not taking any. Another feeling that comes up, inadequate. Like this is how you're thinking, okay? I don't have enough time. And as I'm feeling this, and this is just stuff that's coming up to me, but things are gonna come up for you too, so you can write that down. So we start to show up in this place, right? So when we don't feel like we have enough time, this feeling of overwhelm comes up and you start to feel super scattered. You're not really taking the action you need to take. You're ruminating in your thoughts. This one thing I see all the time. I think I talked about this last week actually. And you start to feel inadequate, that like you can't get everything done that you have to get done. The kids aren't getting fed very well. Grocery shopping's not getting done. Your business isn't thriving or even going, maybe. You're just starting, like, I don't even know. So you stay in this feeling of overwhelm, and this right here is what really gets you. When you stay in this feeling because the thoughts you have, whether you're even like thinking you're having these thoughts, if you're feeling overwhelmed, there's something going on in your brain that's causing the overwhelm. And so you have to step back and look at it from a different perspective. So your result is, we always try to prove a result true, but in this case, it ends up becoming true where you don't have enough time. And now right here, another thing that you could be doing, look at that, it's nice. Another thing that you could be doing is you end up wasting a lot of time. So you're saying you don't have a lot of time, but then you're on Netflix forever, you're scrolling in your phone, you're checking your email a million times, and you're not really being present with the things that matter to you. You're not really spending time the way that you want to spend time. And so I'm gonna give you a little taste of my time management training that I have. So when it comes to time, it's all about how we perceive it, okay? So if we think we don't have enough time, we're not gonna have enough time. If we're not using our time wisely, then yeah, you're not gonna move your needle forward in your business, at least not very quickly. So when this is going on and you're struggling with time management and you're feeling overwhelmed and you're telling yourself you don't have enough time, there's two things you need to do. One, look at what you're actually doing. Get very curious. Where are you actually spending your time? I'll call this a time audit, okay? Now, one thing for me is I'm really good at my time. Some of it I think is just trained behavior, picking up good habits and sticking with them. I do think some of it was the way that I'm just my DNA, the way that I was created. And so time has never really been a big issue for me. I play hard, I work hard, I get a ton of stuff done. But when I do my own time audit, when I'm spending time with my family, that's like important time to me, right? So I'm not like worried about what's going on in my business. I should be doing this in my business. I'm able to be present. Now I'm talking about myself because this is what I want for you. A lot of times when it comes to a time audit, you're wasting time in places where you don't really want to waste time. Like you might be with your family, but you're thinking about your business, or you're thinking about all these other things you have to do. And so that time with your family isn't really spent very well. Or when you're playing, you're thinking about all this other stuff you have to do. And when you're doing your business, or when you're inside your business, you're so overwhelmed, you're not being effective with your time. Or maybe when you're in your business, your mind is everywhere else because you have all these other things that you have to get done that have nothing to do with your business. And so it just keeps you in this place of like overwhelm, really, like in this place of overwhelm, and there's too much to do and I don't have enough time. It just keeps you in this place. But when you get really, really all in on this time audit, and you start to see where you are wasting time, that time you can get back because you become aware of it. And awareness is everything. The other thing that I always encourage my clients to do is, I'm going to put down time management, but I'm going to talk about it. So when it comes to time management, what is important is, so you know how, I don't know if I talked about the to-do list. I don't think I have. So often people make a massive to-do list, which then creates overwhelm because they can't actually get through the to-do list. And they just sit there and try and check things off the to-do list every single day. And then they never quite get it checked off. And so then they always feel like they're chasing their day. They're not in control of their day. So what I like to teach people how to do is you can write down all the different things that you have to do over the week's time. Like over the entire week, like what is it that I want to have achieved? But you stay results driven. What do I want to have achieved by the end of the week? So if you own a business, maybe you have a podcast that needs to be edited and published by the end of the week. You have a blog. Maybe you have X number of coaching calls you have to have done, but you also need to write part of a book that you're in the middle of, or you're coming up on a launch and you need to have your email marketing campaigns done. Whatever it is, everything that you actually have to have done, you're going to write it in. So you're going to write down that to-do list, and then from the to-do list, you have to transfer it over to your calendar. So many of you right now are being like, no, that sounds like total slavery. I'm losing all my freedom. Stay with me. So when you transfer from your to-do list and you move it onto your calendar, like these are the things that I'm going to get done, and you stay results focused, what you can do is buy time. Now, when I say write down everything on the calendar, I'm including time with your family. The whole goal is for you to spend focused time where you need to, so that when you come away from like your focused time on whatever it is, you're able to totally be present for the next thing in your life. When I'm with my kids, I want everything off. I want to just be with my kids. Same with my husband. Like if I'm at dinner with my husband, I don't want to be on my phone and trying to like post stuff to social media or whatever. I like all of that done. So if you can plan for it, like what content am I preparing? What do I want to have done? And then you create pockets of time in your day of when you actually do those things, you'll be surprised at how much you can actually fit in. That right there is why I'm able to run circles around people that are in my life. My husband's like, whoa, like she gets so much done. Well, yeah, it's because I've done my time audit and I do it regularly and I manage my time. And you can too. So the key is to release all this overwhelm that we have around time. The key is, if you have that massive to-do list, make it results driven and then transfer it to your calendar. But then you have to obey your calendar. So if you have a blog post to get out, spend the allotted amount of time you have for that blog post, get it out, get it done so that it's off your list. If you have an allotted time for things that are going on within your family, your personal life, that is where you live during that time. It is a beautiful way to use your time because you end up having way more of it. If you're not following me on social media, my Instagram handle is just Coach Amy Sanders, but you'll see I do a ton of stuff, my workouts, all the other things that I have that I put on there, but it's because I know what's happening next. At the time of this at this training, it's a Saturday, and it's a rare occasion where my husband's gone and my boys are hanging out and my daughter's also not here. So they're all doing their things. And I knew this was going to be the case. So I did some other stuff with my family yesterday, and I'm recording this on Saturday. It won't get posted till Tuesday. You'll see this on Tuesday. Using my time. On Saturday, I could be watching a show. I could be doing anything else, but this is where I'm showing up because this is what I want for me and for you. And on Monday, which is a lot of times where I record these videos, I'm taking my daughter to college. So by the time you see this, I will have already done that. I'll probably be a mess. But yeah, so I'm like, that's the day that works for me. I'm going to get it done. And now it is. So look at your time. Look at your thoughts around your time. How are you perceiving your time? Is it beneficial or not? Because ultimately you are choosing every single part of your day. You're choosing it. So are you waking up excited to be alive? Are you waking up and you're getting your workout in, you're taking your vitamins, you're doing your meditation, you're doing your reading? Are you doing all that stuff in the morning? These are just some of the things that I do. Doesn't mean you have to, but do you have a good morning routine in to where you start your day on fire? Because that's going to help move you throughout your day. What are you doing that moves the needle forward? If you only have a small amount of time to work on your coaching business, what are you doing within that time? I'm telling you right now, if you're spending that time creating a website, you're doing it wrong. Websites are great. That's not what's going to move the needle forward the fastest. If you have a small amount of time to work on your business, then you need to be making as many offers to as many people as possible. That's what you need to be doing. If you have a small amount of time, and especially if you're newer to coaching, coach your butt off. That right there is what's going to build more know, like, and trust, authority, and it's what's going to move the needle forward. Even if you're coaching for free right now and you're like, nobody's paying me, just get in the habit of coaching. Talk to people, get out there, make offers. If you have a short amount of time, you've got to use it in the most effective way, and that's what that's going to be. So hopefully this was a helpful training. We have a lot going on this week, so make sure you're checking in the Facebook group. We actually have 3 trainings this week, so make sure you don't miss them. But yes, time training. Last thing I was going to say is I did open up the doors to my Thrive Camp. If you have not looked into that, make sure you do. It's also in the Facebook group. But my Thrive Camp is a group / one-on-one coaching platform that I only offer a couple times a year, and it goes live September 6th. So you have a couple weeks to register for that if you're interested. It's priced at a price point that, like, I think it's a no-brainer. You are going to get so much out of this information. It's totally awesome. So make sure you check that out. With that, I will see you later. Bye.